Let's bring in Justin Green. He's a former Marine helicopter pilot, also an aviation attorney. We just heard Aaron McLaughlin say the NTSB is saying they have not recovered the black boxes yet, but they use the words, we know they're there. Right. So they're under the water somewhere, they're intact. That's got to be a good sign. Oh, it's definitely a good sign, and most likely the recordings on there are going to tell us a lot. I don't know, the recent Jeju accident where they actually pulled the black boxes, the last 4 minutes were missing. But here you're not going to have that because of the nature of the accident. The black boxes are actually not black, but they're very colorful colors. They could find them. They're very protected, so that there's not an emergency to go get them. Right now, I think they're focusing on recovering the bodies, notifying the families, and when they're ready, they'll go get those black boxes. Yeah, and we do have a preliminary report from the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, that seems to indicate that staffing at the air traffic control tower was what they're calling, quote, not normal, saying that the controllers were managing both planes and helicopters. Can you talk about how that might have impacted this entire situation? Well, you know, one of the things, everyone knows that the DC area is very highly trafficked, just in terms of commercial airplanes, but more importantly, the helicopters. So everyone knows they have to protect, and that includes the FAA, the airlines, the military. And here it seems that the FAA thoughtfully had someone assigned just to handle the helicopter traffic. But because of staffing issues, they combined that. So the same person controlling the American Eagle flight was also looking after the helicopter. That could be a systemic issue that could have a big safety lesson learned. There's a question that keeps coming up about why the helicopter and the plane were apparently flying around the same altitude when they went down. And you were telling us off camera that this is something that is unusual, right? Well, obviously, airplanes and helicopters are airplanes, and airplanes aren't supposed to hit each other, so it is unusual. Here, the DC area has like essentially a highway for helicopters, different routes that they fly that are set geographically, but also at altitude. And the altitude limitation of the area was about 200 feet. For the helicopter? Now, for the helicopter. The airplane's coming in, and the airplane's descending. Ultimately, it's going to land on runway 33. So here they conflicted, maybe 200 feet, maybe a little higher. So one of the questions are going to be, was the helicopter at the wrong altitude? Primarily, the air traffic controller was expecting the helicopter to avoid the airplane horizontally, meaning go behind it. But here also vertically is another question. Yeah, still so many questions. Justin Green, thanks for your insight. Well, thank you.